This man was just going to a restaurant in the rain, but he accidentally bumped into his mother, who had abandoned him for 30 years. Even at the moment of meeting, the man was not happy because he had nothing but hatred for his mother. He didn't even want to look at her and left the restaurant, but the mother chased him out of the door in the rain. The man didn't say a word in response to his mother's belated love. He just picked up a glass of wine and drank the past away. Even when he was reunited with his mother, his childhood was filled with fear and loneliness. Jack grew up with a mother who was abused by her alcoholic father. When Jack was 11, his mother couldn't take it anymore and ran away. Jack had a very difficult time growing up. He was beaten by his drunken father from time to time, until his father was sent to prison. He became an orphan. Luckily, he had a strong will and grew up to be a good boxer. But due to domestic violence at an early age, his character was flawed. He was banned for life for hitting a referee during a fight. After that, he was forced to work as a sparring partner in a club. Out of jealousy, he beat up an Olympic athlete during a sparring session, and then he was dropped from the club. Now, at the age of 38, he struggles to make ends meet by handing out flyers. When he's hungry, he eats instant noodles. At night, he sleeps in a comic book bar. In the morning, he brushes his teeth and washes his face in public toilets. Apart from boxing, he has nothing to live for and no home. Even when it rains, he has no umbrella. But just when he's about to forget all about his life's misfortunes, he meets his mother while handing out flyers. Seeing her son's despondency, she tried to take him back to her home. Maybe he didn't want to see his mother's old face, and he didn't want her to see him in a state of despair. In the end, he went home with his mother. But when he got home, he realized that he had a mentally handicapped half-brother. This made Jack even more impatient. If he hadn't had to make ends meet, he never would have set foot in his mother's house. And in the face of his mother's incessant love and care, Jack didn't say a word in response. He just walked silently into the room she had prepared for him. But he saw that the walls were covered with pictures of his mother and his mentally handicapped brother, though the photo of his childhood and his mother had long since turned yellow. But he didn't show any emotion or joy. At night, he and his stupid brother shared the same bed, but his brother's constant cuddling almost made him angry. When he switched on the light, his stupid brother started shouting. Jack punched him in the face and knocked him out. Ever since he was knocked out by Jack that night, his little brother has been terrified of his brother, so he wore a mask every day. Even at dinner, he would tremble and wet his trousers, and his elderly mother had to clean up after him, and that made Jack sick to his stomach. He wanted to leave this disappointing house more and more, but as a poor man at the bottom of the social ladder, there was nothing he could do to change the situation, so he continued to live in a state of self-loathing. Every night he came home stinking of alcohol, and his mother may have been trying to make up for her past mistakes. She waited quietly for her son to come home, no matter how late it was. Although Jack hated his mother and the family, but he softened his heart and decided to look after his mentally handicapped brother for his mother. But it wasn't easy to take care of his stupid brother. On the way to the orphanage, he ignored Jack's advice. In broad daylight, he took a dump in a public place, but soon a policeman on patrol happened to pass by, and they were taken to the police station. And to make matters worse, they were fined.